Hello everybody, welcome to another reaction video. I am Robelle. Today we're looking at another Zenless Zero character demo. Really excited. It has been too long, or I mean, okay, it hasn't been that long. DIDN's video was like, what, 2-3 weeks ago? But I'm always looking forward to these demos because they are just so well done. They show so much of the character. I'm super excited. So today we're looking at Banyue's character demo. It's the martial arts review. Now, as per usual, before we hop into it, I definitely want to take a look at this first, going it over frame by frame. That's how we do reactions here. I always comb over it so I can pause as much as I like and break everything down. And then after that, we'll watch it without pausing. That way, we can kind of get a feel for the music, and we'll just see how well the film of the video is. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Alright, here we go. Okay. You need to sell me on Banyue, even though I'm already sold. A lot of the fan base just isn't. Alright, we're already starting off with the walk cycle. It's down at the ankles, but if you notice, these guys get shocked by this person. Why are they moving out of the way? Who is this person? Why do they have so much aura? Dang. It is curious to me how they animate Banyue, because like, if we look, he definitely has jiggle physics. His metal is flexing and bending and moving around. Like it's stretching, it's doing all kinds of things. It definitely doesn't feel like it is super duper hardcore solid, if that makes sense. Now, one thing I do really love about these character demos is they make sure to use the in-game model. If we look, you can actually see the low resolution of the textures here, which that is fine because these characters need to be loaded onto a mobile phone because this is a mobile game at its core, and it's really amazing what they're able to pull off in Zenless Zero, especially with how fluid and crazy their combat is. It's pretty decently well running on phones, which that does wow me. Now I know it's not perfect performance, but my phone can run it, but only for like half an hour before it starts feeling like my phone is gonna explode. But hey, that first half hour goes crazy. Anyways, you can even see that the model isn't like, it's not perfectly smooth. You can see the line here is a little bit jagged because it is moving across polygons with the texture. We're seeing the different vertices of the, the model now below. The tries are a little bit less because, as we run on phones. So, it's one thing, it's really cool that we see that they're using the actual in-game model because, well, one, it shows how well rigged it is for them to get this much movement in these animated trailers, but also, it's not really false advertising. You're like, this is what you're getting, this is what the character looks like. There's no crazy cinematic trailer. They're not trying to, the trailer is cinematic like crazy, but like, the model isn't some crazy super high fidelity version. If you want to see the high fidelity version, go watch Banyue's EP. I also reacted to that one. But let's move on because I've been on this for like 3 minutes already and we're only 10 seconds into the video. Dang, not the NPC was the one of the aura that was scaring everybody? Hey, what is he doing? Like he's like shaking his shoulders, someone's messing with him. He's stuck in the chair. Okay, alright. Oh my gosh, he's stuck in the chair. Alright, well, I'm gonna point out just how amazing this is though. Alright, we need to go back and go over this frame by frame. I'll tell you why we need to go back and go over this frame by frame. Alright, so he's stuck to the chair, but as we all know, when you have like these animations, the model doesn't like have hitboxes. I'll be fine in a normal sense. Unless they rig that would be crazy. But like, to animate the chair being stuck to him, they have to like make sure the model moves with the chair in tandem without it clipping over anything. So if we go over this frame by frame, we can actually just see how much attention to detail they want with. Also, this environment is gorgeous. Look how realistic that carpet looks, and not even in like like all of the graphics are crazy kind of way. It's just like the fact that it doesn't, it doesn't clash with the Zenless Zero art style. We have these very, anime looking characters. Of course, they're very unique anime looking. I do believe that the Zenless Zero shaders look very, very remarkable. They look very different than all the other big 3D gacha games on the market. It's not just cell shading. But seeing that they don't clash with this basically photoreal carpet, at least it feels photoreal to me, especially with how the light is bouncing off of it. Alright, anyways, we'll go back to going over Banyue being stuck in the chair. I like that. Flippin', even the detail that, these office chairs, they do go up and down a little bit. There's a little bit of flex on there. So seeing it like move up and down, but like the rest of it is firmly planted, even it's sliding us a little bit forward. Like you guys see that, right? That is so good. And this is like the most subtle of movements for the animator. They're working very carefully. And their sense for timing is really good too. Like, see here, it's just the heads moving back and forth. The legs are barely moving. This is shifted just a little bit, but barely, not even. And nice they didn't clip to the floor. And now, when he stands up, I'm curious. Do we see any clipping? No, he lifts it up off the floor immediately. Oh, no, there's the clipping. There it is. Alright, sometimes you have to make a clip to sell the movement, you know what I mean? But you can see the front wheel of the office chair it does clip to the floor a little bit. Or you could argue that because it's carpet, it's actually sinking into like the fabric part of the carpet. And so that's not actually clipping. But I'm just gonna... I mean, they could have done that on purpose. They made it like a carpet floor. They made it a carpet floor just so that like any clipping is just... You don't even notice it because it feels natural. Now, does he clip through the top a little bit as well? Nope, they stop him before he goes to it. Oh no, he does clip through it. Ah, look at this. Alright, now, normally I super... Oh, never mind, I lied. I was gonna say normally I just super glaze everything, but I am also here to point out mistakes. I'll be honest, I thought this was part of his model. Nope, that's just the back of the... That's the thing holding that... I don't even know what that is. That's a thing on the back of the chair. Alright, I don't know. Amazing work. Gosh dang, the leather work, the texture work. Did they like go into the... I'm assuming Zenless is also Unity engine, much like Genshin and Hellfire Star Rail. Like, use Hunger Star Rail Unity? I know they don't use Unreal Engine, and as a result, their games tend to run better on phones. But like... The texture on the flippin' leather and on the carpet is so good in this demo. I'm like, wait, did they just take these from like the Unity store? Did they buy some high quality assets, or did the poor modelers on the team just slave away for these assets that we're never gonna see again?
Well then, let's get...
Oh my goodness. Alright, once again, very, very amazing work. And that liquid is not 3D, it is 2D animated, which is... Or it might be 3D, honestly. There's only a few frames of it, and the way it moves, like it's literally... Like, no frame is the same, so I presume it's 2D animated. But it could be, like, 3D has gotten really, really good. Especially for, like, stuff that's, like, kinda transparent. Water physics and stuff have made huge strides as of late. No, I think it's 2D. The way it moves, it's 2D. Especially because it's moving... Yeah, it's moving at a different timing than the actual model itself. Like than actual 3D elements, and so it definitely feels 2D. Like somebody added that in after.
Started. Did you organize and profit from illegal underground fights?
Typically, it's not underground.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know his mouth moved. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention during the story. Actually, does his mouth move? I thought it was just like a speaker. I didn't know his mouth moved.
Typically, it's not underground. Too damp. Bad for your health.
Oh my goodness, he took it literally.
I'm asking is, did you...
More like this.
Oh my gosh, the Riz is crazy, what the heck? Dang, Uncle got game, I guess. Then we saw the 2D? Okay. Big thing, Zenless Zone Zero never goes like 2D with the demos unless they're going hard. So, because like the big thing is you lose a lot of... The term fidelity isn't the exact thing that I want to say here, but like, so you can see all the specular highlights, all like the different little, indentations in the metal. You can see the material is different here than over here. You lose that when you swap the 2D, but it comes at the addition that this image will register in your mind a lot faster than a 3D model because it's blocked out colors and shapes. It's a lot more simple, so your brain can process what it sees a lot faster, which means when it's animated in 2D, they can move faster. And that is just the... I mean, anyone that watches any action anime, you watch any of those big action scenes, right, for specifically 2D anime, you will notice that, like, they move fast, right? If anyone watches, like, let's say, okay, but bringing Solo Leveling as an example, because I feel like a lot of people have seen that one. But during those big fights, the characters, they're basically teleporting around, right? They're moving so quickly because, well, in one frame, they are just moving from one point to another, and your brain is able to register that they have moved because the character is a bunch of simplified shapes, so your brain understands what it is a lot faster. Whereas you take a look at something 3D, like let's say Spider-Verse. Well, Spider-Verse isn't the best example because they have a very simplified art style, but very flashy. But you see something like that, the characters have to move a lot slower because the brain's not going to be able to, it's not going to be able to register the actions as fast, if that makes sense. I'm just going off on a tangent talking about how there's a big advantage to 2D. Well, actually, I think I'm a good example of what I mean here. So we saw him move his, like, we saw him move both. Oh, we've transitioned into it. I didn't even notice. That's how close it was. We transitioned it, he's teaching a student. I was like, wait, where'd the office lady go? We're in the flashback now. Anyways. So if you notice here, right, instead of seeing arm appear here and then here, so the full movement, it's just here instantly. But because of the shape, we're not really the shape, but because it's just a bunch of simplified blocked out shapes, you understand that it moved there because of the extra smearing. Like, it moves all the way around in 3 frames. And normally if you did that in 3D, that would look weird. That would look weird, it would throw you off, it would feel uncanny, but in 2D they can get away with it. Then he's teaching his students.
Your martial arts school has been reported for disturbances 8.
She's spinning the pen like crazy. Okay. Again, I mean, we probably shouldn't be wasting too much time on this NPC, but okay, she's going crazy with the pen, and we gotta see what's going on here. Is this a realistic pen spin? I spin my pen all the time. Okay, alright, that's already far beyond any level I could get at. Holy moly, she's going crazy. The thing is, it's moving... It's moving so subtly and smoothly that it does feel like something someone could actually do if they, were actually good at spinning their pen. Okay, no, this is realistic. This is realistic pen spinning. I am willing to bet that they actually have someone on the team that just knows how to spin a pen. So they filmed themselves spinning the pen and then they use that as reference footage. Otherwise, there's plenty of footage online of people spinning, pens like this, but... most of the time when it's moving realistically like this, if it's a realistic movement, alright, odds are the animators didn't, come up with it off the top of their head. They had to take a look at reference footage, and that's what brings that sense of realism and, that weight in the movement to these trailers and these animations. It's because the artist puts in the work. So even though, we always look at animation as if it's something where the animators are just capable of cooking out everything off the top of their head, in reality, a lot of artists do film themselves doing reference footage. They film themselves moving, their facial expressions, all that, just so that they can, bring their animation to life, bring their characters to life, and that is what animation is. It's granting life to these characters, and right now I am fully believing that this lady is actually spinning her pen, even though it's actually just a bunch of 3D models moving around on a screen.
Times now. Have you used violence during your teaching?
Help! I'm dying here!
He's dying, but he's not dialing. We need to bring dialing into the picture somehow, just for fun.
I'm fine, Shifu! I'll keep going!
Oh wait, was he trying to do chest compressions to revive him? And the guy was like, well, that's painful, I gotta get up. That's gonna be worse than me lying down on the ground in pain. Also, this guy is built, look how big his thighs are! Holy moly! Look at that muscles! Now if only we got more characters like this. I am curious, like, Banyue is probably our most buff, our biggest male character that we've seen, but he's a robot and also a lion. The lion does not concern himself with being a giant robot furry, but I am curious, do the players want more male characters? Like, I would like to know if people would be, on board for a more buff guy, like a manly man, or one with like a beard or something, you know what I mean? That would be cool. But like, Zenless Zero is primarily known for its fan service, and with that, typically we have more female characters, at least when we're targeting a more male demographic. At least that's what I think they're doing. But the thing is, they still grant the really cool looking male characters. Like, I was so hyped when I saw Harumasa's trailer. I'm still a big Harumasa fan. A lot of people, they throw slander in his way. Oh, he's too hard to play. No, he's easy, guys. You just hold E and then button mash the attack button during the stun window, more importantly, and that's the hardest part of his kit. He's easy to play. Although nobody prefers W engine, so everyone thinks he's weak, but actually he's really strong if you have his W engine. Well, I say that, but he's probably not as strong as, like, Seed or something.
I'm fine, Shifu. I'll keep going.
Glad you're alright.
Holy moly. Oh my gosh! Alright, first off, if those are stone, you know how heavy that is? Also, that one guy, that guy is built different. Wait, that's the dude from the story, right? Oh, I can't talk about the story. You're right. Hang on. Alright, I'm gonna do my best not to spoil the story, because I know that it doesn't have voice acting all the way through 100% yet. So I know a lot of people haven't played the 2.4 story. Minus spoiler, this guy is in there. Well, actually, I don't know if it's him specific. It could literally be any of the black-haired guys. But there is a guy in 2.4 that, that's in the story, and he's got, I think it's him though, because this guy's, but look at that, because 400 kilograms, that's insane. I know it's anime, but like, whenever you've seen these characters pulling off these insane feats, and it's a random NPC, that's crazy to me. Also, like, this is insane. The faith that this guy has in the guy below him is insane. Like, look.
What exactly are you trying to do with this school of yours?
Alright, so if I had to guess about this demo, it's probably Banyue tried to make a school to like help teach people to defend themselves, which I think they said that in the story, but seeing how the demo is set up, he probably did not do any of the paperwork. He's got like maximum unk status. He does not know. Alright, he is very illiterate with, he's not dumb, but he's very like illiterate with how you're supposed to conduct yourself in society, because, well, he's old. His personality is old man, so he's probably in trouble because they broke all the code. And he didn't have the paperwork. Dang, that guy not cool. Hang on, I gotta see the impact. Does he hit his head on the back of the wall? Because if he does, he's dead. Oh my goodness. I gotta point out the follow through of the animation, alright? Now I always make sure I point out just little animation tidbits here. So here his body's fully extended. Clearly he got hit around in the upper chest, or maybe even in the face, because that's what's for this back. Even like he was trying to throw a fist too, right? He was trying to punch whoever sent him flying. Maybe he was an ethereal and he was defending himself, and he was not built different. He was not that guy, but if you look, boom, and he crumples. Whoa, we can see that. Ah, that hurts. Oh, and splat, and there we go. Look at that. So look, we got like 3 frames. No, we got 2 frames of movement. One of him entering the screen, one of him in almost the middle, and then boop, he hits the wall already. And that is kind of that build up, the timing that you see in 2D animation. That is also important, but here we're doing it in 3D, of course. Right? Timing in animation is everything. Sometimes you ignore even the real life movements, and you time things a little bit different just for more impact, and that is an example here. Alright, he starts slow, he's not moving that far, he's only moved across half the screen in 2 frames, and then he moves across basically 2/3 of the screen in this final frame here to show how fast he is going, and then we have multiple frames of impact just for that, that end of the climax of the action. And then, there it is, there's so many frames of him falling. Also 2D, like, yeah, 2D impact effects as added. Per usual, and again, a lot of these VFX are just so well done. So it starts here, and then it moves outward, and then moves outward in the direction he is coming from, just to kind of show that power, show the power dispersing, if that makes sense, showing that there is so much energy being spread across the wall as his body absorbs all of that impact, and now he is totally dead 1,000,000%. But he's gonna get up, because Banyue is gonna defend him, even though that was totally a mortal blow. He is gonna get saved. Or maybe he's dead. He might be dead. Dang, there's a kid here too? They got abandoned, the kid, that's crazy! I mean, okay, if he's that hurt that he's limping and his arm hurts, okay, maybe he can't help a kid. Maybe he's gotta worry about himself first. But like, that kid's just standing there. LNBC, you couldn't yell at the kid, hey, get over here! Like, he's already cooked. The least he could do is use his body as a shield. He is limped somewhere, the kid's just standing there, oh no. Alright, how is this guy not? This guy is so dead. Even like we watched that ethereal fly across the screen like 50 feet. Again, look at all this power. Actually, you know what? I was talking about how, like, you know, timing is the secret to showing the speed and the impact. So we're moving the camera to like show more speed, and then so this thing is staying primarily center. It goes off screen, so you don't even see it hitting anything, no wall, no ground, and then it's just the impact, the effects frames. We're just seeing the energy irradiate from his point of contact, and that lets us know, oh, he hit the ground really hard. How are we saving this guy? The ethereal is on top of him, or, you know, like in the zombie films, or like shows where like, oh, we're gonna save them last second. It's like, it doesn't matter if you show up last second, the zombie is already on top of them. They're cooked. It's over. Nah, at least Banyue is protecting the kid. What happened to that guy that ran away? Oh, no. This is about to be a crazy action sequence. Alright, I gotta see how he transforms. Does he have any cool mechanical moving parts? Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So when... So his balls, when the balls go inside his back, that is quite the sentence I just said. They explode in the fire to show that there's energy, but to show that he's powering up, that he is obtaining the energy for himself, you will see the fire and like from the fire from that explosion get sucked into his back with the balls. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's like going Super Saiyan, but instantly. I mean, they go Super Saiyan instantly all the time, but here there's a billion VFX on top of it to make it look crazy. Ew, I like that. So one thing animators do to build up speed, alright, less on the movement, more on the build up of the action. The action can be instant, but the build up to it's gotta be long. So we spent all this time powering up, and we can see him getting into a position to run. Look at that, there's barely any movement. It's just him building up. He's building up that anticipation. Oh, he's gonna do something. We got the one frame of startup, and this is really interesting. We have what looks to be a line that's going across his entire body. I'm not sure what that is. I don't think it's definitely on purpose. It does remind me of like little heartbeat, you know, beep, beep, beep. It looks like that. I forgot what it's called. The machine for it. Oh my goodness, I don't know off the top of my head. Well, just move on. And then you can see it travels down his body, so it's not there for one frame. Maybe it's him breaking the sound barrier, that's what it is. I mean, that's what this frame probably is him breaking the sound barrier, but he's going fast! Holy moly, the smear! And then look at that, just the silhouette against the white background. Then he poses, he's doing the, you know the flash pose? Wait, let me get it. Okay, so literally he's doing this. He's doing that in the background. He's like, I'm soaring through the sky. Alright, let's move on. Well, no, okay, no, okay. Do we swap the 2D again? Okay. And this is 3D here. As 2D as it looks, they did crank up the lighting to make it a lot more extreme. There's a lot more compositing on it. That's okay, it looks good, it looks glorious. But swapping the 2D with the spirits, oh my goodness, that's so hype. Hang on, we gotta go over this frame by frame. Unless I like to watch this in full motion, but we save that for the end. Now one thing, the line between the building, or the buildings, or whatever, this one line in especially, they scribbled it in the middle here to kind of show that's moving by quickly. Well, that's not even the building, that's the concrete ground, that's the sidewalk. I thought that was a building, with the cameras actually facing directly down, or not directly down, but it's looking down, bird's eye view, and it pans up as it zooms out. Holy moly, the poor animators! Oh my goodness, look at all that detail! Oh my goodness, people like Zenless on Zero needs to get an anime. Guys, the anime cannot be 2D. They can't. You know how hard it would be to animate this for the duration of an entire anime? And all the characters are like this detailed too. It's not just the mechanical looking guy over here. But like, oh my goodness, look at that. The smears are so good. Look at that. His leg is moving. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, the poses. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. And then also to like kind of sell his movement as well. Like getting these little dust effects here. These little glowing fire particles. Alright, the fire is smoldering, and so it's leaving his behind, and so those are like traveling across the screen as well to add some speed to his movement. Oh my goodness, that he just turns a tilt blur, the camera can't keep up. Look at that. So you can see he blurs and now he's gone. The camera catches up to him. Alright, this is, this isn't, we're not even gonna register when you just watch this in real time, but you see what the animator has in mind. The camera catches up to him, but he's moving so fast, the camera's moving so fast to keep up with him. It's all a blur, it's just a just a bunch of smears, but that's them. Gray spot, that's him. Boom! That gray spot accelerates even more. Just a line of light from his flames. And he's gone. Oh, it's glorious. Oh, he did have the jump. Yes, oh, stop, man! My goodness! Okay, so blur, this for him to enter the screen. That's how fast he's traveling. And then boom, the camera focuses on him, but the camera is still moving with him, so the background actually is still blurry. This is a thing that we actually do in photography all the time. If you look at anybody that's an action photographer, you'll notice that sometimes when they're taking a picture of a subject, that subject is clear, but their arms, their legs, and the entire background, it's all blurred while they're running. It's such a really cool, it's a really cool thing when you have a lower shutter speed, so the camera kicks in more light. And so they've been making that in animation, and that is actually one of the advantages of all forms of animation. You constantly see the shifting of perspective that real life just can't do because different cameras have different lenses, and so when you have different cameras and lenses, you can't have a singular camera shot where you change the lens and perspective. You can't stretch things out weirdly, but anime can just shift between lenses as it pleases because it's just a person drawing, and they're like, it would be really cool if the foreshortening on the leg covered the entire screen. In this case here, we're animating like it's on a really low shutter speed, so the background is completely blurred while the character is clear. But you're doing flips and stuff, that's mad unnecessary, he's just aura farming! Oh my goodness, look at that. Okay, this part here where he's spinning, he's trying to build up momentum to punch the whatever he's about to hit with maximum force. Clearly Markiplier meme. Okay, never mind. He doesn't punch the camera. Oh no, it's one shot directly into that guy. And me cut. Okay. You barely see the ethereal. It's there for one frame. He died so fast, leaving you get the chance. But you know what? That's okay. Oh, we got him flying. Oh no, it's just a regular ethereal. Relax. Oh no, no, not the drop kick. Oh no. Oh, not the build-up on the dropkick too. Oh my gosh. Also, this ethereal is built different. Whoever got corrupted and turned in ethereal, I feel bad. He's got like a six-pack and everything. All that training just to end up as an ethereal. That's why working out sometimes it doesn't work. Alright, sometimes some forces are too strong. You could be the most muscular person ever, and the ethereal corruption is gonna stop you, and the zombie is gonna stop you. You gotta become the atomic bomb. If you know, you know. Anyways. Gosh dang, so I'm surprised they didn't just go from one frame of all the way up here and then one frame all the way down. I'm surprised they did one frame. They actually showed the smear. the smear just to show the hit going through. Actually, I want to see that in full motion. Hang on. Okay, you don't need to see the whole thing roll. See that when I play the whole thing without pausing. Oh, never mind. It's animated so fast. Now, this truly is at 24 FPS. So that's actually like, that's only 3 frames of that 24 frames per second. So, and it's like, oh, not even on screen for like 0.2 seconds. Oh my goodness. Okay. They didn't have to pop up this hard on his trailer. Actually, no, they did. They did. Then this character is kind of filled with controversy. Like, people are like, he's not powerful enough. People are slandering Banyue. Oh, he's right before the Void Hunting. The Lion does not concern himself with the Void Hunter. The Lion who are found regardless. You wish your character was as cool. Now that we've seen Isha Bomb's animations in the game more, people are like, oh, her animations look amazing. But I also argue that this guy is just as crazy. Well, maybe not just as crazy, but compared to the rest of the cast, this guy, Banyue mogs all the other characters. He has so many extra attacks. I know, because I've seen them in the event. Anyways. I am not DOS. Why is he going so crazy? I'm not even. So, alright, impact frames. They're spamming impact frames, but the thing is, ZZZ doesn't spam them too much. How is not? Actually, maybe they do. I don't know anymore. Everyone and their mom uses impact frames now. Everyone uses it in their ult. Everyone uses it in the trailers. Impact frames aren't impactful anymore. Alright? Because when everyone is special, no one is special. But you know, these impact frames are still gorgeous. They got stars everywhere. Showing his etheric energy. Even though he's a fire unit. But he's making the mountains, come on. So, like, he could use Earthbend? Like, how did... Okay, so I know, like... There's, like, you know, people were like, oh, when ZZZ, they got science to explain the weapons except for Miyabi and Nishimguang, because they're just using magic. But, like, how do we explain the science for this guy? Like, he's a robot, so we can obviously assume he's science, right? But he's summoning, he's Earthbending! What do you mean? He's Earthbending! And I didn't question it in the game because I thought that was so cool. But now that I'm like seeing it, I'm like, what? How is he doing this? He's just some regular ethereals, relax!
So strong. If only I could be as strong.
Please, make this random NPC kid playable in the future. I know he's like literally carbon copy of the actual NPC kids in game. Make him playable, give him some jip or something.
I'd be able to protect everyone.
Banyue student, version 4.0, we better see him.
Is something the matter?
Is that Dylan? I knew it, I summoned her! I said put Dylan in the trailer! There she is!
Conducting an interview. I'll submit a final report once the investigation is finished.
Don't worry. I'll take it from here. Okay, see you around.
You know, she hit him, she hit her with the MK.
Okay, see you around.
But as she smiles when she looks at Banyue. He went to sleep? What the heck?
Looks like it's lunchtime. Alrighty, I'll come back later.
I mean, that was an amazing... that was an amazing animation breakdown. There is so much for me to consume. This was so good. What the heck? Alright, I know this for 33 minutes. I'm sorry, everyone. Alright, now we can watch it without pausing. It was good. Alright, it was just... I didn't even watch it yet. It was just... It's so good. Anyways, let's take a look at this.
Next up in local news, several residents have recently filed complaints against a martial arts school for disturbances and regulatory violations. The martial arts school has been ordered to suspend operations and...
So yeah, him moving around with just him trying to get out of the chair. That's so funny.
Well then, let's get started. Did you organize and profit from illegal underground fights?
Typically, it's not underground. Too damp. Bad for your health.
It is kind of funny that he's just like,
What
yeah,
I'm
I was
asking
participating
is,
in
did
fights
you-
for money.
More like this. Allow me to demonstrate.
You know what, now that I'm thinking about it, we didn't see a response to that. That was like max Unkrids. And instead we transitioned to like a flashback.
Your martial arts school has been reported for disturbances 18 times now.
Kid him not have
you
to spin the
used
pen like that to
violence
style on
during your
him.
teaching?
Help! I'm dying here! Shifu! I'll keep going!
Yeah, so the student is like, I'm fine. So
Alright.
really, it was just Banyue being like, you know, very cautious and worried.
What exactly are you trying to do with this school of yours?
And as per usual, he just wants to teach people to defend themselves so that less people die, which is a very noble. That's a very noble, like, deed to do. But again, look how buff these ethereals are. All that work just to get corrupted. Or maybe the people getting corrupted aren't buff at the start, and they just get buff as a result. Holy moly! This action sequence is insane! By the way, this actually is how it feels like to play an in-game. Try the new event, everyone! Alright, doesn't you feel like this when you start button mashing? All the people, they're like, oh, he's too weak though, now it's fine. It's fine. You'll be able to clear the endgame content if you build them right, even if you don't know his like ultimate rotation.
I'd be able to protect everyone.
Might be easier with Yutari, I'll be honest. But will you feel as cool as playing Banyue? I don't know.
Is something the matter?
Oh no, I'm gonna be button mashing is what I would
I'll
say.
submit a
I don't have
final
enough pulse for
report
him.
once the investigation is finished.
Don't worry.
I'll try though. I'll try.
Take it from here. Okay, see you around. Looks like it's
Why did he go to sleep though? I guess there was a lot of pressure on him to try and answer everything. Gosh dang, I gotta see that again. Hang on. I gotta see that again. This flippin' action sequence is just, it's so good. And my goodness. The poses are so good too. I love the intensity of the music too, gosh dang, cause like even the office sequence, it's just like, it's so, you know, mundane. It's, you know, we're trying to show the slice of life. Which again, that is Zenless Zone Zero's strongest point, that they balance slice of life with intensity like this.
If only I could be as strong as you, I'd be able to protect everyone.
I do like that they, you know, they made the lady a pen spinner. A professional
Is
pen
something the
spinner.
matter?
To try
We're
and,
conducting an
you know,
interview.
keep these
I'll submit a
mundane
final report
interview
once the
segments,
investigation is
you know,
finished.
still a little flashy. Because, like, we're like, oh, stuff, he's spinning the pen, that's pretty cool. And then anyone that's, you know, animation conscious, they're like, oh, shoot, the animator kind of went crazy there.
Alrighty, I'll come back later.
Then good stuff, alright. I definitely think they popped up with Banyue's trailer. It's pretty dang good. They popped up with the Nano. I love how, like, how goofy it is. But then like, it has a raw action sequence in there. It's like so high energy, high intensity. I love it. Anyways, if you enjoyed the reaction, well, be sure to hit that like button and leave a comment down below. I would love to know, what do you think of Banyue's character number? Do you think they did him that justice? Do you think that they sold him well enough for him to overcome the slander arc that just seems to be happening for some reason? Although, I do think the slander arc is just, you know, a local minority. I feel like the people that don't really hang out on social media too much, they're probably still gonna try to pull. That's how gacha games are. They just pull on everyone. And if they get them, they get them. And if they don't get them, they don't get them. Also, for all you people that look at revenue and stuff, do remember, alright, the ZZZ revenue is kind of cooked. Same for Wuthering Waves. It's cooked on those like Sensor Tower review charts because, you know, the player base for these games is like on PlayStation and on PC. Because people aren't playing these hardcore action games on their phones too often. At least that's what I like to think. Maybe it's cope, I don't know. We have nothing to measure any metrics by. We only have the flippin' just the Apple revenue charts. And it's not even real revenue charts, it's like estimations. Anyways, that's my mini rant on that. But if you enjoyed everything in the video, then I would leave a like and comment. But if you watched up to this point and you are not subscribed, somehow, if you're not subscribed, then subscribe, hit that bell notification. I cover all kinds of gacha content on this channel, mainly just reacting to things and pointing out all the fun little animation details, little directing cues. I just love to dive deep into these character trailers, these demos, everything just because, well, I feel like the average person doesn't really look at these trailers in that way. And I think it's so important to understand just how much work goes into these things. Like, look at this is glorious. They're going crazy. Anyways, I'd say that is it, that is all. Hope you all had a good one. Remember, into an end up like I can't speak. I have been stuttering and stumbling this entire video. Hopefully that's okay. But anyway, that one hope all. I hope y'all had a good one. Remember, take it easy and I will see you all next time. Bye!